Good evening, you're watching Austin After Hours. I'm Taylor Ellison. Thanks for being with us. We've got a fun show tonight. Here's a look at what's coming up. Carpenter, musician, humanitarian. The list goes on for Austinite Brett Tutor. We're learning how the newest Trading Spaces cast member is enjoying life on and off set. Plus, we stop by his shop for a quick DIY project. And the best part, no tools required for this one. And from Sundance to South by Southwest, Augustine Frizzell is a filmmaker on the rise, an Austin Film Society grant recipient, and named by Variety Mag as one of the top 10 directors to watch. Augustine shares how she brought her own life story to the big screen in her upcoming movie. And batter up, we head to the Dell Diamond to visit with Round Rock Express president Chris Almendarez to hear how baseball is fun no matter your age. Plus, how Chris's journey through personal hardship has inspired an entire community. But first, we head downtown to grab a margarita and catch up with Brett Tutor.
With that.
Let's get to work, Brett.
Ah!
Brett, cheers to
Cheers.
you. So good to see you.
You too. We've done this, what, twice? 3 times?
Yes, 3 times now. And the last time, or the first time we were together, you were out promoting a Discovery Channel show.
Right.
So much has happened since then.
Yes.
Give us a window into your world. It's so exciting.
Well, anytime we do tequila, I will meet you for sure. Yeah, the first time was a show called Treasure Quest Snake Island. I was a survival specialist for Discovery Channel.
Survival specialist. That's an intense role.
Yeah, it's a weird title. So my buddy was like, "How did you get that title?" And I was like, "I've never died. I don't know.
I'm still here."
Pretty good.
Trading Spaces is a big part of your world. What does that reboot look like?
It's been crazy. We started filming and people were going nuts. I was sleeping in my Airstream trailer and people were like knocking on the window of my trailer. They were standing in line watching us build stuff in the neighborhoods. And I was like, this is crazy. But after filming it, not only did I see how many people love the show, but why. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. It's been so much fun, meeting so many cool people. It's kind of like being adopted into a highly dysfunctional family.
Oh, well, that sounds special.
They're crazy, but it's so much fun. And as the Carpenters, we're up at like 5 in the morning, sometimes working until 3 in the morning. We're doing things on basically with no money in a very short amount of time, $2,000, 2 days.
Is there a lot of pressure that comes with the show reboot that people love so much?
A whole lot of pressure.
What's that feel like?
Well, what's nice is as a carpenter, it's not really my responsibility. It's kind of on the designers.
Yeah, you
so
get
I just
to
build
come
what they
in
want to
and
build.
make it happen.
Yeah, but I think that the pressure in what we've all been talking about as far as the cast members of the show, Trading Spaces was kind of the first of its kind. It was kind of created the genre for home renovation TV. But since then, it's spawned so many different shows, and Property Brothers, Fixer Upper, and all these amazing shows with amazing design with these $400, $500, $6,000 zillion budgets, and you see these beautiful before and afters, and we're like, we only have $2,000. How are people going to respond to that after seeing these huge transformations? And they're like, that's not that good. And you're like, we didn't have that much money.
Yeah, you were working with something a little different. It seems like people are still responding really well, though.
They are.
How has the Austin community responded? Because it seems like people are really supportive.
It's so awesome. Everybody runs up and like, we love the show. It's great. And it's so much love. So I got really lucky to be a part of something that I think people enjoy.
Are you allowed to talk about the future? Like, what does the next season look like? Or do we have to just keep us guessing here?
I'm still guessing. As of right now, they're casting for season 2. So we need families, but we need people in Austin. And I really want you guys to do it in Austin because I want to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah, exactly. That might work out well for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I have a workshop right here, and so it'd be fun to get to use it maybe for the show.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Right now I'm focused more on my home inspection business here in Austin. I have a nonprofit here that we're starting to grow. I started Off the Grid International about 3 years ago, and we're real small. We're real tiny. It's just a few of us home inspectors here in Austin. We can't change the world, but we're trying to change the world for one person at a time. So we build water systems and sanitation systems alongside the Peace Corps, the real remote places that don't have access to clean water and sanitation. We did one in Panama, so you fly into Panama City, take a plane to Bocas, and then you take a truck to a place, get picked up by a guy in a wooden boat, and he takes you like 3 hours up into the jungle.
Wow.
And so it was unbelievable how just rewarding it is, but also seeing that like we're not coming in to save the day, or you know, it's really, these people are completely capable and completely autonomous. It's just a lack of resources.
Yeah.
If a kid gets sick or an elderly woman gets sick, they can't get to the hospital. So preventable bacterial diseases are a big thing in these remote communities.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we're trying to help not only build but educate too as well.
That's such impactful work. I'm so glad to know you're out there doing that. That's so
Trying
great.
to do more.
You know, you're also a product of Austin. You're
Yeah.
making music.
Yeah.
What does that look like? You just debuted a few songs.
I was so excited, yeah. So I've always played music with my brother. My brother was on American Idol, and I've always been really scared to sing, but I like to write songs and play guitar.
Well, then you guys are like a perfect little pair.
Yeah, it's worked, and so this is the first time where I sing my own songs. So I wrote it, produced it, I play guitar, I play harmonica, I sing it, and I just put it on iTunes and Spotify, and I'm kind of excited and kind of terrified.
So how'd you work up the courage to do that?
It's just, I'm at a place in life where if something scares me, it's the right thing to do. Part of progressing as a person and moving forward, I wanted to overcome that.
Is there anywhere you went to kind of like get the courage to start singing in front of people? Like, could we find you at Egos on South Congress?
House Wine has
okay, jot that down.
So
what
they
night
have
of the
an
week?
awesome open mic on Monday night.
Love
And
it.
because it's Austin, these aren't just people getting up and strumming. These are incredibly talented people, but everybody's so supportive there.
Okay.
You can mess up and it's all you think about, and they're like, man, that was awesome. Here's a bottle of wine, blah, blah, blah. And it's just a really cool, supportive group.
In Austin, open mic night is still scary because everybody's a musician
Yeah, they're
here.
so pros. It's ridiculous.
I know that you and I a while back talked about how happiness is more about fulfillment and less about being rich or being famous. What does that look like to you?
Everybody's got their own definition for happiness. You know, we're in a physical world and we're physical people, and you gotta make money and you gotta have a job, you gotta do stuff. But I think that your relationship with yourself is so important. And that's one thing that I'm learning for myself, and just starting to do things that I love doing.
Yeah.
And I think giving back is a big part of that, but also giving to yourself and not doing things that you don't want to do, and then doing the things that you want to do. Like I went surfing this morning.
You've got a lot of projects in the mix.
Yes.
You've got your shop just across the street. So can we go check out some of those things? Get our hands dirty?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Oh, you want to build something?
I want to watch you build something. I don't think you would trust me with power tools.
We can do it, it'll be fun.
So this is your shop.
This is a shop.
Looks good.
It is a little dirty.
Let's make something. What is this?
That's the right way up.
Is this on?
It's not a gun, you can pull the trigger.
No, what happened?
Try it. Ah! That's a drill.
Oh my
Oh
Lanta.
yeah.
What are we making in here?
I'm in the middle of a new table that's still drying. This is a stained epoxy. It's just a little bitty side table,
Cute.
right? And so this will be all clean and pretty. I like to do things I've never done before, and this dyed epoxy is something I wanted to try because of how pretty it is. I don't know, I just have different clients who are like, hey, I need a table. I'm like, ooh, I got an idea.
Got a table for
So
you.
that's what this is. So this is a stool, concrete.
Can I pick it up or is this
You
major
can.
heavy?
You got it? Oh! You can make this with 0 tools for about $10.
Oh, this is my kind of project.
Literally
What'd you do?
no
Let's do a
power
quick
tools.
DIY tutorial with Brett Tutor.
Okay, here we go. You
What
ready?
happened?
You get one of those buckets from a hardware store, right?
Like this
right?
kind of bucket?
Like that kind of bucket,
Okay.
right?
Let's take
So
this.
dump some concrete in there. You mix it with water to the consistency of like peanut butter, and then you get it about as thick as you want your seat to be. Right?
Oh,
So that's what you
clever.
want. And then you literally just get these dowels.
They look like this.
Get 3
I'm
of them.
like your Vanna White.
You
I
are.
got your props.
we
Okay,
go.
here you go.
And
what
then you
happens?
put the dowel in the concrete, like so. Blah 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 blah.
Cute.
And then you literally just go grab a margarita, and you come back the next day.
While it
you don't do
dries.
anything while it dries, and you just pull it out, and you can paint the legs and get crazy.
And then
You can
you
stain
look.
the concrete. It's really really short. I feel like a little baby stool.
All right, so let's finish this table, shall we?
Let's with that.
Let's get
kinda
to work,
scared
Brett. So you're always working on something. Where can we follow along with your project? Sorry, I won't point that one
You kind
out.
of scared me. Instagram. So just my name, Brett Tutor.
Thanks for hanging with us.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks for
having me.
trusting me with power tools post margarita. Let's do it. What a fun little project. Keep a lookout for Brett on Trading Spaces, and you can find more of those fun projects on his Instagram. After the break, we sit down with filmmaker Augustine Frizzell.
Hi, I'm Chef Tyson Cole. Come see me at Uchiko. You're watching Austin After Hours.
I was like, I'm not trying to name drop, but I spent an hour talking with Richard Linklater, and he was giving me good, positive feedback on my movie, My Mind is Blown.
I'm so excited to be sitting with you, Augustine. I was so inspired by your story the other night. I just wanted the chance to share it with more people.
Thank you.
What has been the journey of never going back?
I made a version of the film in 2014. I wrote a script very fast. I was gonna do it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna make the movie. And I applied for a grant from AFS and I got the money, which was unbelievably helpful and encouraging, and made the film in 16 days. And shooting so quickly, it wasn't what I'd really intended, and the script had been rushed, and so I don't think I want to release it as is. And so a friend of mine, Toby Halbrooks, he was like, well, hey, why don't you just rewrite the script, make the changes you want, and then I'll produce it for you. And he's a really well-known, renowned producer. And so at first I said no, because
You did?
yeah, I was so worn out. I was exhausted. Like, making a film is extremely hard, and it takes a lot of emotional toll on you. After some thought, and after a period of feeling really like I'd failed and I wasn't going to be able to do it, I decided, yeah, this is a great idea, and so many filmmakers would kill for this chance to remake their first thing. And so a year and a half later, we made the film.
How does it feel now to share it in this way and have such momentum behind it?
It feels amazing, and I think about it a lot because I know that the film is divisive. I know anytime you're making comedy, it's not going to be for everyone, and so I set out the second time around to make something that I liked and that I really liked, because I knew that there were going to be people who didn't like it, and so as long as I felt good about it and had made the thing that like really satisfied my my inner desire, then I could handle any of the negative, and that's proven to be true. I mean, the positive response has massively outweighed the negative. I stayed true to the thing that I wanted to do. It's the best gift that I could have given to myself. It's about two teen girls. They are 16. They've dropped out of school. They live on their own. They work at a diner, and they just want to have a chance to get out of town for a minute, go to the beach, not have to pay bills or worry about all of these adult things that they've been kind of dropped into in their life situation, and everything goes wrong. And it's based on my real life, like completely. I was 15 and grew up very poor and grew up with a lot of hardship. I wanted to just show this world and my experience, but in a funny, like, comedic way.
We are going to Galveston for your birthday.
Oh my God!
Go do something with your lives.
What's it like seeing your life come to life on screen like that and being the director of it?
It's like almost like rewriting history. So the writing process was really therapeutic, and I felt like instead of looking back and thinking things were so hard, I wanted to look back and say, oh, well, I had this crazy experience, and now I've lived 10 lives. I have a lot of material, so maybe I could keep making movies.
When did you know that you really enjoyed directing?
I knew immediately after I made my first short film. The momentum and like the energy of the shoot never ended, and the whole time I was just like, we can do it. This is so fun. I just want to keep doing it. And then the next morning too, I just remember turning to my husband and being like, I've done it. I made a film now. I can't even believe it. And then that was it. And then I just wanted to keep doing it.
What inspiration have you found from the Texas filmmaking community?
Richard Linklater's a huge influence, obviously. The amount of support that he's provided to the Austin Film Society and kind of this community that he's helped foster and grow here has been life-changing for me. That belief system that they've set up for young filmmakers who are, or maybe not young, but new filmmakers who are trying to make their way. I think I was more nervous at my first South by screening than I was at Sundance.
It's so close to home, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's very, very personal for me. The first time I ever came to South by Southwest, I just remember watching Winter's Bone and just thinking, God, this movie's so fantastic. And then I just stayed all day long. I watched everything that they played at the Alamo Lamar, and I was like, one day I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna play my film. It was kind of perfect that my first feature had its first screening at that theater, and it was like a full circle moment, and it meant a lot to me.
Many thanks, Augustine. Never Going Back hits theaters this summer. After the break, we're swinging for the fences at Dell Diamond with Chris Almendarez. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's Judah Friedlander, and I'm not sure what I'm doing right now, but I know what you're doing. You're watching Austin After Hours, because you're a winner.
Are we smiling?
We should look more serious, maybe. Okay. We were supposed to be.
Well, you can't when she's smiling over there.
We're back in the clubhouse. I feel so special to be a part of the club, Chris.
What happens in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse.
So what goes on back here?
It's the players area. What fans forget about is these guys are working. They're performing from 7 to 10, and really at the AAA level, we're trying to develop players to become Major League Baseball players. So we feed into the Texas Rangers. The biggest thing we say is, look, we know your sole purpose is to try to get to the next level, and we're going to do everything we can.
Give us a window into that history and when Round Rock Express started.
You know, in 1998, Round Rock was a small community then, and the perfect place. Nolan Ryan and his sons, both Reed and Reese, that had this idea. Nolan Ryan's nickname was the Ryan Express. Nolan was probably one of the first pitchers to be clocked at throwing a baseball 100 miles per hour, which is, you know, nowadays there's a lot of guys doing that. The Nolan Ryan Express was just kind of his nickname, and that's the name that stuck. When we represent the Round Rock Express, we're also representing the Ryans and their family. And for me, you know, growing up in Houston, a 7-year-old kid, Nolan Ryan was my childhood idol. So it's a pretty cool story. We've been very blessed by the game of baseball. I'm running Nolan Ryan's baseball team. My son plays for Terry Poole, my 2 favorite baseball players growing up. Sometimes I think it's a dream. If you'd asked me way back when, would I be the president of his baseball team, I would have told you no. I think baseball is a lot like life. I think it's one of those things that you're set up to fail, and in life you're going to fail a lot of times. And so baseball, we tell folks you got to have thick skin, because you might strike out 3 times a game, but you might get the game-winning hit at the end of the game and be the hero. I think it's the best game for any kid to play, just because you're going to get the ups and downs. The game's been so good to us, and I think just in our personal life, what we've gone through, it's been part of our healing process.
Yeah, most definitely. You are such a role model on that front. You use some really challenging life situations to make something good out of it and inspire others. How did you do that?
You know, I mean, honestly, the credit goes to my wife, Jana. Jana was an amazing lady. Jana got diagnosed on June 28th of 2015, the day that changed her life, and they said that, you know, she's got a brain tumor. In the morning that she's going in for the biopsy, I get a text from Reed Ryan, our founder, and Reed goes, hey, listen, I really want to get this on social media. I believe in the power of prayer. What do you think? She said, absolutely. We're going to show folks that you're going to go through some adversity and things in your life, but we're going to show them how you deal with it. He shot that first tweet out, please pray for my good friend Jana Almendarez, and later that afternoon, my cousin retweeted or something, but put hashtag Team Jana, and it just took off. In the 11 months that she was fighting for her life and going through radiation and chemo, she only had 4 bad days. And you know, most people have 4 bad days in a week. You know, she's fighting for her life, but at the end of the day, her belief in Jesus and, you know, what this was all about was bigger than her. It's coming up on 2 years, but I think the boys are doing well, and I have most great days. I still have a day here and there.
It's such a beautiful story, and the power of prayer and community and friendship you saw.
That's exactly what it was. And she was very close to our staff, and when you go through something like that, it's just life-changing. And I think one of the good things that we've gotten out of it is life is short, and you live every day to the fullest. You know, I tell our staff all the time, for 3 hours a night we can enhance people's lives. What's your why? You know, when people walk in our gates, we want them to have a happy time.
I love that, and that's so powerful. So that led to the creation of Jana's House.
Yeah, so, you know, Jana's House actually came about in 2013. We flew 14 hours to Dubai, stayed the night there, and then 8 hours to Lusaka, Zambia.
Wow.
And went to the Tree of Life Village. It's orphans that are pulled out of the slums of Lusaka, Zambia. And we teach them baseball. And there's about 40 Americans that would go out there and teach different things. You could teach, you know, baking and dance and all that kind of stuff. So we're the baseball guys, so we did baseball, but you think you're gonna change those kids, but those kids change you. That next year, Chase was off his first freshman year of college, and he'd actually called Jana. He was like, Mom, I'm waking up and dreaming about those kids, and I really want to go back. It changed Jana, and she loved it, and I remember just seeing her, watching her interact with the orphans, and she wanted to bring them all back. And I'm like, babe, we can't do that. We're teaching them life skills so they can change that country. 6 months later is when she got diagnosed. You know, when your wife passes away, what do you do that night? And I don't think people think like that. But the next morning, Reed Ryan called me, and he just said, hey, listen, I'm kind of trying to think for you, and one of the things I'm thinking about is thinking ahead for the holidays. Mm-hmm. He goes, what about if you and the boys and our families went back to Africa and visit with the orphans? And I'm like, Reed, that's the last thing on my mind. He goes, no, listen. He goes, we're going, and the reason we're going is we're going to build Jana's house. And I go, what? He goes, listen, I've already talked to the folks at Family Legacy, and there's a lot of people that have reached out to me and they want to help you guys and do something in honor of Jana, because I think this is the perfect thing. And that's how Jana's house was brought, and it's changed 12 girls' lives. They pulled them out of the slums of Lusaka. The New Year's Day of 2017 is when we opened Jana's house. It's a day that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
That was a life-changing experience. Thank you so much for sharing that. Round Rock Express is more than just a baseball team or baseball games. You are constantly engaging the community, hosting sets for TV shows. Tell us about some of those crazy, wild experiences.
We filmed the 4th season of Fear the Walking Dead. Never in my wildest dreams would think we'd do that, but we did it.
What does that look like? You transformed the stadium. How?
It's called stress, actually, is how it looks. Basically, they came in and ruined the whole stadium and shut us down other than our admin offices. I remember being at shortstop, and there was a goat and a cow, and I'm like, this is our baseball field. One of the things we said is if you mess the turf up, and you're gonna have to replace it, and they're like, oh, we're gonna replace it. And we're like, oh, great. It's been exciting watching some of the episodes, and there's been some neat things we've got to do. Whatever they ask us to do, we never say no, and we're in the people business, and it's about relationships.
What do you think in terms of my baseball potential expertise? Do you think I have what it takes?
I don't know, but we're going to try. I think we need to get in the batting cage and see if you can swing it.
Let's play ball. Is that a baseball term?
Yeah.
Let's play ball. All right, what happens?
All right, so we're going to set you up. This is kind of a shorter bat than what we typically use. It's a training bat.
Beginner.
Hey, look at you. You're perfect. That's
Really?
good. So you know what
I feel a very awkward squat right now.
You don't squat that much. Imagine there's a bug. We're just going to squish it.
I don't want to kill a bug.
Just squish the bug. Squish the bug.
It's a ladybug, Chris?
It's not a ladybug. It was a big, ugly spider, okay? Hitting position.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to our power position where there you go.
Power position.
And now I'm going to squish the bug and land the airplane. Boom. That looked
Scale
good.
of 1 to 10, what was that?
About a 4 right now, but that's the first deal. We're getting there, okay? That's Jana's favorite number. That's what I used.
Okay, thank you. What
Swing.
if it hits you in the face?
It's not going to hit me in the face.
Okay.
Better? That's all right. 1, 2, 3, stride. Swing. Boom!
Oh, Chris,
That's Round Rock Express baseball camp right there. Oh, we're counting, huh?
I am. I've never hit so many baseballs in my life. Okay, let's try to. I want some like air. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did that hit you? Did it actually hit your body? All right, that's a wrap. It's a perfect day for baseball, Chris.
Let's play ball in the baseball camp.
Oh, I get swag.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. Snug.
Looks perfect.
Perfect, he says.
Best looking Express baseball player we have.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Let's see what happens out here. It's exciting to be on the field.
Exactly.
And just a little bit intimidating.
All right, imagine there's an imaginary plate. Boom.
Whoa!
That was perfect. That was good.
Thank you, Chris. I learned a lot today.
Exactly.
Think I'm ready for the team?
I think you are. We might go to my office and sign a contract.
Chris, thanks for giving me a chance to play. That was too much fun. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Austin After Hours. Until next Friday, find us online or on YouTube, and have a great weekend. Cheers.